Today we are going to talk about how to balance centralization and decentralization in governance. Kevin, one question that we hear from customers all the time is they want to democratize data and AI. They want to make sure that everybody in the organization can access data and AI, use it, and be more efficient. But they also want to keep control over data and AI. Is it possible?
It is, but this is an area where we have to be really, really careful because we don't want to go too far in one direction or another. So a lot of times you'll hear about, different models that you can choose, a federated model, a centralized model, a hybrid, et cetera. I'd really just kind of forget all that and just think about how do I best balance centralization and decentralization, because you're never going to completely do one or the other. So right now, there's actually a little too much decentralization, right? It's very popular to decentralize right now, but you can go too far in that direction as well. And that's what we're seeing in a lot of organizations. So we don't want to overcorrect. So decentralization came about because you want to avoid the bottleneck of a central data organization, right? And the same is emerging with AI. However, if I decentralize too much, then I'm going to repeat capabilities over and over again in different areas of the company. So let's take, for example, aligning to a customer experience initiative. If you want to have that customer experience cut across all of your lines of businesses, maybe you're a financial services firm and you do wealth management and you do insurance and you do credit cards and you do mortgages. Well, if I really want to have a total experience with that customer, and I want that customer to have a seamless experience with my company, then I need to have an understanding of that customer across all these different lines of businesses. How do I make sure that we're all working off of common customers? How do I make sure that the account information that cuts across all of these different lines of businesses can connect so that I understand all the different accounts that I have with that specific customer, okay? So the only way that you can do that is to assert some standards, not only on the technology level, but also in terms of the meaning of the data and how it links together. Especially with generative AI applications, we're having to build underlying capabilities, guardrails, hallucination control, monitoring. Do I really want every application to have to invent what all those look like? And again, it's not just technical, but it's also decisions that we have to make. Make sure that the decisions you're making about centralization and decentralization match the vision of the company. So if you are trying to get a unified view of the customer, you need to have some people who are responsible for linking customer data across the various business units. That's the element of centralization. If you're doing a supply chain optimization initiative, you need to have a complete view of your products across the supply chain. Some group needs to be responsible for linking product data together from across the supply chain process. That's what the central group is for. And then for AI governance, a lot of it now is about not having to reinvent the wheel. So I think leaning a little bit more heavily right now on AI governance towards more of a centralized model makes a lot of sense. So you can build all the core capabilities that are needed, all the protections that are needed, so that you can enable the wider organization to use AI to meet the needs of their applications or to go about their work on a daily basis.
Great insights. Thanks, Kevin.
Sure thing, Abbas.
Great. So today we talked about how to find the right balance when you're thinking about governance and centralizing it or decentralizing it and how much to do it. In the next episode, we're going to talk about how to institutionalize it. See you next time.